Tony, Tony, Tony now, Tony now, Tony now, 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 Tony, Tony, Tony now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna introduce you to this guy right here. His name's Tony. He's got blue skin, which is kind of weird, and he has these red arrows across his face, so I guess it makes sense seeing it's a crocodile technically. Now he has black hair that's usually spiky, which is silly considering he acts as a primer proper, yet that hair is a mess. Not only that, but his facial hair is yellow. The heck is that? Looks like someone colored it with acrylic. That could have been me. He waddles around with a huge bow tie and suit and goes on and on about time and being punctual, and it just drives people mad. Huh, man, he's weird. Did you know he chimes at midnight and his sleepy opens up his mouth and his phone noise comes out? He doesn't believe me when I say he does it though. Now the way he met is actually kind of funny if you think about it. There was my old business and painting when this book came out of nowhere. The clock and sword tried to decapitate me. He was telling about how much of a dame being it was and I believe this world, but haha, I'm immortal. Though I soon found out he was too when I tried to carve out his heart with my pencil. I mean, come on, I was just going to draw an actual heart on that cold dead thing that lives in his chest. He can't get me. Now Tony and I have this really odd relationship. I mean, we were usually fighting one another and trying to kill each other. One time Tony disemboweled me after I stabbed him by mistake and we laid in our blood for a little bit until we got bored. Tony. Tony now, Tony now, Tony, Tony, Tony now, 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 Tony now, Tony now, Tony, Tony, Tony now. Be creative. Tony likes to stay inside to work, but I mean, come on, look out that window. How beautiful the day is. All those ideas can flow. Let creativity go. At times I pick at him since he never really does much and he gets angry with me. The only low thing that Tony can say to me that actually gets to me, I guess, is that I have green in my hair. But come on, it was one little mistake that I made. I was sort of form of it's not my fault. Green isn't a creative color. Oh, whoops, my bad. Anyway, Tony's a cool guy, I suppose, once you get to know him. At first he looks like this old freak and all that prattling about time. I think he likes pizza. I can't remember the guy just doesn't eat that much. I think it was the best when he took me to the galaxy and we danced up on the stars and just was so dashing for once. I saw him in a better light and it was amazing. Sometimes the order would be like if he didn't treat everything so seriously, but it is nice to see him smile. He smiles that when he's able to kill me, but it's only for one blissful moment. One day, I'll get him. I know that for sure. He will be mine. Even though Tony has his moments, he will still forever be this little nerdy cock, something you can't avoid, but what can you do? It'll work out, I guess. Maybe. Tony now.